what I've got over here. All right, now I'm still in the process of scuffing this down. The trick with the rattle can, you do still need to scuff your lure because your clear coat will be cured at this point that you do this step. You do not want to put any clear coat of any kind, whether it's a matte, a satin, or a gloss, on top of a cured clear coat without scuffing it. If you don't scuff it, it will not have a tooth or a grip. It'll be like putting Velcro on glass. It just won't stay. It will stay for a little while, but you'll start having chipping and flaking, and what's called delamination, where it just starts peeling up on its own. If you're not careful, if you don't give it a grip to hold to, it just will not stick down very well. And the whole point of a clear coat is to protect the lure. And if you're trying to do a mat lure, you want that mat to stay around as long as possible. That customer doesn't want that mat peeling off after just a couple of fish. You want to at least get around 30 to 40 fish before you see major issues. Depending on size of fish and type of fish, within 30 to 40 fish, you'll probably start seeing some clear coat issues, depending on the size of them. If they're big monsters and toothy critters, well, there's a good chance they'll start crushing the hooks into your clear coat, and you'll start getting issues then. Lures ain't forever. That's why we keep making more. But you want to give it that grip. I mean, if it doesn't have something to hold to, it just won't hold. So we got that all scuffed up. Give me a second to wipe it down. Get all that dust off there. All right, there we go. We got all the dust off of it. Let me get a holder. Actually, yeah, this will probably, nah, I don't know if this will hold good enough. No. We got a little better holder over here. Just got to get it out of the drawer. There we go. Yep, beautiful. All right. Now, you don't want to be like right up on the lure when you're doing this either, when you go to do this. You want to hold back, and preferably outside. I'm just doing the one. I will be wearing my respirator here in just a second. I will have my booth on. And we're just doing the one, so we'll be okay. But if you're doing a bunch, even if you have a booth, unless you have a really big booth, I recommend doing it outside if you're able to, because this stuff stinks. So let me get my respirator on. Safety first. Safety first. All right. that set up and I'll read the instructions on the can to you. Let's take the respirator down. Alright, so with this one, let's see here. There's conditions, what it contains. Shake vigorously for 1 minute, which we already did that. If mixing bowl fails to rattle, do not strike can. Yeah. Hold can upright 10 to 16 inches from surface and spray in steady back and forth motions, slightly overlapping each stroke, which y'all saw how I did it. For a lure, that works that gives you really good coverage. Keep the can the same distance from the surface. Apply 2 or more light coats a few minutes apart. Alright, so let's go to the dry and recoat time, because this is the important stuff that y'all need to know as well. Always read this stuff on your can. So we are going to go off of the relative humidity and everything, because that's pretty much where my room's at. It's at 70 degrees, 50% humidity, which I'm probably around 70 degrees and probably around that or less humidity. Allow more time at cooler temperatures. Dries to the touch in 20 minutes. To handle in 1 hour. Fully dry in 24 hours. Apply a second coat or clear coat within 1 hour. Or after 48 hours. Well, that's kind of vague. Apply clear and 2 to 3 light coats a few minutes apart. Alright, so we've got to give this just a couple minutes. And you can see it's already lost some of its luster. So depending on the amount of dullness you're looking for. I mean, y'all saw how much it shined when I did the intro video. We don't need that no more. I mean, does it look good? Oh yeah, I like the way it looks in a matte. It really does look good. You ain't got to always have gloss in order to look good. I mean, it's kind of like your old lady. Does she have to have lip gloss in order to look pretty? No. Sometimes just natural looks better. Or for the men, sometimes we ain't got to have our hair combed. Sometimes that messy hair just looks better to the ladies. Does any of it make sense to the other person? Nope. But it makes sense to the person looking at it. And that's all that matters. So if the person looking at this loves the matte, then that's all that matters to me. Sorry, I had to give me a drink coffee. And I'm not knocking nobody. I'm just making some general jokes, y'all. So please don't get all upset and butthurt. Alright, so I think we're going to... I think we'll be okay to come back in and do a second coat. Alright, mask on. I did get a little bit heavy on that second coat. If you saw that it dripped off a little bit right there, that's why I'm sitting here rotating it, making sure everything stays good. That was just my fault. I overlapped them a little too tight. And like I said, this is a little thicker. This is the 2X Ultra cover. When I do this trick, I usually use the normal. And it doesn't go on as heavy. You know, obviously the 2X is going to be a little bit thicker. But if you're doing it yourself, if you wind up doing, noticing you get a little heavy, all you got to do is rotate it a little bit, just like anything else. It doesn't take long for this stuff to get to a point where it won't run or sag. So if you do wind up getting it heavy, don't fret, don't freak out. Just kind of spin it a little bit. And if you have a turner, put it on a turner. I mean, depending on how you hook up to your turner. If you hook up on the bill, then obviously don't put it on the turner. But it won't take long. Don't hang it, in any direction, because you might wind up getting a sag this way. It won't always come all the way down to the tip. Just do your best. I mean, sometimes it sucks, but sometimes you just got to do it. You got to put your big boy or big girl shorts on and just kind of do what's got to be done. Okay, I think it's at a point where it'll be good. So we're going to set this to the side, let it finish drying a little bit. And I might have to wind up coming in later and showing you the final results, because obviously we've still got to do the water tank test. But we are going to set this to the side, let it dry up, and we're going to get the other lure over here. Now, where do I want to put this? All right, we can take our respirator off because we are done with the chemicals, or at least the airborne chemicals. And now, barkeep's friend, and this. And need a paper towel. So this will have to work. So what this is if y'all have never used it, Barkeep's Friend is a lot like Ajax or something like that. It's a scrubbing surface cleaner, but it's got a little bit of a grit to it. They do have it in a powder form. I'm just using the paste because it'd be a little bit easier. But you'll see there, it definitely looks nice and gritty. So we're going to put that on the lure. And we're just going to rub it in. Rub it in, rub it in. Sorry, probably some bad humor there. But there's a little bit of a grit inside the cleaning solution. And that will help knock down the gloss and keep it from looking sanded. Because I was trying to figure out how to do this, and could not figure out at the moment how to do this and not make it look sanded and scratched on. Well, so I read a little bit more, and someone had mentioned using Barkeep's Friend, that it knocks the shine down, and it works really good. I'm going to put a little bit more on there. I thought, hey, we have that. Let's try that. It does look like it's knocking some of the gloss luster off of it. One thing about it, it will definitely be a clean lure. It definitely will not be dirty. We're not going to worry about doing the bill. Actually, you know what? Let's do the bill. Let's do the bill just because. Worst case scenario, the bill will help us see if it goes back to gloss or not. Because it's a clear plastic. I mean, it'd be nice if it doesn't go back to gloss and it stays matted. Because this is a pretty simple way of doing it. I mean, you'll have to do this with every matte lure you do, but the same way with the other processes. Without having a matte automotive clear coat, you've got to put a little bit of effort into it. And I said, I have seen and heard of someone talking about adding stuff to the epoxies. I think it's baking soda and that still keeping it durable, but allowing it to go to a matte finish. I still have to try that. I got to do a little more reading on that, see if there's like a particular ratio. And kind of see what that's about. And I wouldn't call this really a full matte. I'd call this more of a satin. I mean, it does dull it down, don't get me wrong. It's almost like a matted satin, if that makes any sense. It's not really what I would consider a full matte. But it's definitely doing it. So let me rinse it off. Okay, where's my towel? Let's dry it. Oh, darling, you are going to be so beautiful when they see you. Alright, so it did dull it down. Let's zoom in a little bit for you. I mean, there is still a slight luster, a slight shine, but it's definitely a lot duller. So, we're going to wait for the other one to dry. And once it dries, we will find out. Where's the can? There it is. We will find out which one of these, will both of these, or will neither of these survive the water tank. So, let's see if that other one's dry before I cut screen. It's not dry, but oh my goodness, look at this, guys. Look at that. And you can tell here that it's matted out. That is nice. I am happy with that. That is a nice, clean, clear coat as far as, the way it laid on. It is dull and matted down. Still has a little bit of a luster, but that is perfectly fine. It still looks really daggum good. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to have a gloss to look good. You can look good and still be matted down. This looks really nice. Looks even better in person than what y'all are seeing on camera, trust me. So we're going to give this a little bit to dry. We're going to give it about an hour. And then we're going to come back and do the water test. So see you on an hour. All right. Everything is nice and dry now. So here's the gloss. Normal clear coat. Oop, hit the camera. And then here's our matted down version. And then this one's the one that was scrubbed with a cleaner. Is that Barkeep's Friend. It still has a little bit of a shine to it, but not as much. So we're going to clean everything off here. When we come back, there's going to be a water tank in front of you. And we're going to see what the results are. All right, now we're back. So the first one we're going to put down is going to be the one that was scuffed up with Barkeep's Friend. And I will give y'all a pan view once we get them all sunk. All right, now the next one is the one with the matte clear. And then our control, which is the gloss clear. Well, them two fell down right next to each other. And hopefully this tote is clear enough to show y'all what's going on here. Okay, let me get the phone off the holder here and we'll be right back. All right. Still getting the holder out of the way. And I think I can already see a slight difference here and there. And we'll move them in the water to make sure it's not lighting and stuff like that. I want to try and eliminate all possibilities. All right, so this one here, this one is the gloss. So it does have a shine. It does have a slight glossy effect. Let's move it a little further back just to check. Oh, come on. Be nice to the camera. Oh, I think I know how to solve that. There we go. All right, and this one's the matte clear. And I will say, especially if you look at the bill, it does seem to still hold a matte property. So what weight is it like? Okay. Okay, and this is the one that was scuffed up. Let's see what its bill looks like. Now its bill went a lot clearer, so that tells me that it clears up a little bit more as it goes into water. Now let's get these turned where they're facing sorry about how rough this is, but I want y'all to see the bills as well, because the bills will tell you a lot. So if you look at this one, that bill stays nice and clear and glossy, because the bill will tell you a lot, I think. This one, it still stays, it does clear up a little bit, but it still stays fairly matted as far as visual quality. And this one that was scuffed up, it cleared up a lot more. Let me wipe my hand off here. So if we zoom in, so that's the gloss one, and it looks glossy in the water. You can see that reflection off of it, it's still glossy. Now the one with the matte finish, it does have a slight gloss, but I think that's just water doing its thing. But you can tell that the reflective property, especially on the back, is definitely a lot less. And this is the one that's scuffed. It does help, but I don't think the scuffing with the cleaner is as effective as the one with the matte clear coat. So let me get these dried off and we'll do the end of this for the conclusion. All right, so we got them all out, got the water tank put up, got them dried off. I haven't got the anchors off of them yet. So like I said, this is the matte. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. The matte definitely did hold a matte property. Excuse me. So the matte it held a matte property still in the water. The bill was still foggy, seeing through it. It might have picked up a slight bit more gloss, but not a noticeable amount. So a matted clear coat will still stay matted in the water. In the submerged properties, not dipping it in, pulling out, letting water set on top of it. If you just put water on top of it right now, it's going to look glossy. But actually, submerged in the water, matted clear coat will still keep a matted property. This is the gloss version. So you can see the difference. I mean, you can still see the details, you still see the colors, the color shifting. You can definitely tell, though, it is matted down compared to the gloss. This one, however, will it work for a matte? Yes. Compared though, I would not use the scrubbing method as my main method for trying to do a matte coat. Yes, it does work, but as you could see when the bill, right now it looks scuffed up, or not scuffed up, but matted down, but in the water it cleared up. Not 100%, but it did clear up. So you can scrub one down and get a matte finish, but it is definitely not as good as an actual matted clear coat. So that's just a conclusion between these two types of matting compared to the gloss. Now, like I said, I've got to do a little bit more research still yet to see about what people are adding to epoxy and trying that. And we'll just go from there. And this is where we are right now. Even with the Rust-Oleum can, the matte clear coat is the better form of matte when submerged, and a matted lure will stay matte when submerged. So now we know that it will stay matte and gloss will stay gloss. The scrubbed one will stay, we'll say it's more satin. The scrubbed one will definitely be more satin. It's not quite gloss, it's not quite matte. So it goes to a satin form. So there we are. If y'all enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe. Share this out to your friends. Give me some input in the comments. Did it help you? Did you find it informative? What would you like to see? Without y'all, I can't grow this channel. And I appreciate y'all. And we're going to finish this up. So love y'all. Hope y'all have a good rest of your Sunday. And we will see you next time.